Acabo de poner el link del documento en las minis al final.
Okay. So let's go, Professor González. ¿Cómo que Antonio falou? Professor Jorge. Professor.
Dice María que es la única que está en el link antiguo. María, en el link antiguo.
De ontem?
De hoy.
Ué, mas eu também tô no meu. Qual que ela tá?
Gente, que usamos antes. Esse do enviado.
Ah, tá, porque eu mandei dois mesmo.
Marisa Canadinho. Escreveu de novo? Não.
Puso que. María, claro, que dice, hey, si este es animal santi, that you could trade activities with submitted in Australia, you test and you versus and you follow.
Fala pra Marja mandar qual link ela tá, Jorge.
Sí.
I had suggested in an email on Sunday morning there that you could try the activities we submitted in Astro Edu to test the new version.
O puedes mandar tu mensaje nuevo, que es
Tá, vou mandar o que eu tô aqui no mesmo e-mail.
Me mandas a mí.
y mándales a todos.
Pero es que eso no estaba en el programa. O sea, ella sugirió.
¿Qué había que hacer?
No, a ver, está bien, pero que los que estamos aquí ya vemos más o menos todas las actividades.
Não, é que ela sugeriu fazer a versão da Astroed.
Claro.
Né? Mas uma coisa é ela sugerir e outra coisa é o resto todo mundo mudar porque ela falou uma coisa. Então, e não, já estava fechada a programação e afinal a gente se ajeitou aqui da
Não, e não só
Bueno,
isso.
podría haber sido una alternativa que podíamos haber hecho.
Claro, e
Pero
não só isso.
decidimos hacer
Gente,
otra
eu
cosa.
não vi esse e-mail. Foram muitos e-mails nos últimos.
No, yo
Pero,
tampoco.
pero es que
E muitos comentários por muitos, às vezes escapou.
No, ella
Pra mim
sugirió lo que
escapou.
decir que,
Não, eu até vi,
hacer
mas
la
pensei,
actividad
bom,
de
mas
Astroed,
a
el
sugestão
nuevo
é outra,
formato para
sabe?
probar el
A
nuevo
programação é
formato.
outra.
Eso sugirió María.
Teria que
Y
ter
si
sido
hubiéramos
feito
hecho
quando
eso,
foi circulada a programação.
O
É,
sea,
sugerir novos tópicos.
no, que usáramos en el web, en el acceso
Eu sei que é, já é fonte de novo.
que usáramos las actividades de Astroed o el nuevo formato para probarlas nosotros y ver cómo son.
pero que
Olha
no sé,
todos os e-mails.
porque ella dice que...
No, que hay tres en Astroed version. Que las
Ah,
podíamos haber
entre
visto,
nosotros.
claro, nosotros, pero bueno, decidimos hacer otra cosa. ¿No? Decidimos usar ese tiempo para nada.
Da igual.
Conectó.
Estamos reclamando, como siempre, ¿no?
Sí, pero que la envió, o sea, yo se lo dije a Jorge, yo lo vi, yo dije, pues yo es que no sé lo que han metido y
Claro, tú
no me
sabes
lo
que
quiero
había-
poner a ver ahora porque lo envió
Sí, se
justo
vio
tarde.
bien.
No,
Ya yo estaba viajando.
Claro.
Peraí, eu
O sea,
mandei
la
no,
máquina se había preparado
no
su
de
parte
hoje.
y envió otra vez.
Es que no sé.
Volviste a mandar.
Eu não vi o correio, porque são muitos
Por
correios.
la presentación.
Eu tô aqui no e-mail.
Bom, vamos começar?
Vamos.
Começamos.
Bueno, pusimos. ¿Estamos?
Está.
¿Estamos? ¿Teléfono?
Sí.
Yo estoy empezando con varias cosas, estoy leyendo.
No, que estoy...
Ok. No, que pusimos juntos con Edu y Maite pusimos reports de los Andes, Pando, que no tenía resolver, India, Bravo y Colombia. 5 reports, porque Constellation no está y Wanda no está. Down. aquí está un documento con todas ellas en diferentes categorías. Y Felipe avisa si se conecta bien, y si se conecta bien avisa y cambia inglés, si no. Y bueno, María, por ejemplo, en español. Nos pusimos aquí de broma que la lesson learn más importante es leer las lesson learn. Antes de planear nueva expedición.
Eso ponlo en colorines.
Sí, es
Eso,
mucho.
como previous lesson learned before planning a new expedition. Eso
Never
es
lesson learned.
como brain.
Lesson never learned.
Eso es importante. Lesson learned. Qué bueno. Entonces seguimos las categorías que había en el report de Bravo porque pensábamos que quedaba bien, quedaba curioso. Entonces, ¿qué quieren hacer? ¿Quieren que vayamos sobre todas las lesson learned y veamos si se han aplicado o no, o cómo quieren hacer?
Son muchas, ¿no? Imagino.
Son un par de paginitas. No, pues tenemos hora y media.
No, a lo mejor sí, las más importantes, las que hayáis visto que eran como las más relevantes.
Hemos hecho en hora y media
No,
limpiarlo y ponerlo. Esto no ha sido posible
Pues vamos a
hacer
una
nada.
cosa
Son diferentes todas, o sea, y son relevantes todas. Yo creo que podríamos ir. Bueno, yo las puedo leer y comentamos a lo mejor si las hemos hecho, si es algo que no se ha hecho nunca. Entonces, venga. Bueno, primera categoría, preparation of the trip. More information should be given in advance to the schools for the teachers to prepare the students. In particular, the teachers could have appreciated to know the main topics that would... Maite, me hablarles tú, que tú vas a leer más bonito en inglés.
Pero sí, porque tú la estaba ahí, ¿no?
No, pero es verdad, creo que
Para-
vamos a leer así alto
more information should be given in advance to the schools for the teachers to prepare the students. In particular, the teachers who have appreciated to know the main topics that we were going to cover, as well as to have some details about the organization of the activities and the structure of our visits. Such anticipatory information will allow the teachers to better prepare and motivate the students.
Sí, esto era desde los antes. ¿Esto es algo que creen que hemos hecho o que es algo que hemos pasado en alto?
No, yo creo que no. Que
¿Qué nos ha hecho?
No.
Ese documento está en las líneas, ¿no?
Sí.
No se había, esto no se ha hecho. En las dos ediciones que no.
Bueno, send information prior, que ya es algo que hablamos un poco.
Sí.
¿no?
Sí. Ok. Ya.
Lo ponemos aquí, no está.
Still to learn.
Sí, tú no.
So we have almost no support presence from the teachers. In the future, it would be important to inform the schools of the details of the activities we want to present, like number of students, separate routes for hands-on activities, etc., so that they provide more adequate resources for particular activities. Eso, learn. It was learn.
No.
Ay, no me creo. Dice Maite que es.
¿Dónde está?
¿Qué quieres hacer?
Poner learn. Esa fue aprendida.
Ok.
Learn.
Pero no se pone el paréntesis. The team should arrive in the school one day in advance to plan the activity day directly with the director and interested teachers. Determine which teachers will participate with which classes, in which classrooms, etc. In a few cases where we could prepare the terrain, In that way, we save time during the activity day and also avoided possible organizational schedule conflicts.
Eso es de la primera, de los antes, de la primera.
I think it's learned.
Yeah, because I think it's done by the collaborator. Right? When they travel to.
Yeah, it's learned
I mean,
somehow.
it's not done by us because we don't have enough time to do that, but it's done by the collaborator or the person.
And also we are spending more time, and we have the ideal scenario. We first speak with the teachers, right?
Yeah.
We first have the teacher training workshop.
Yeah, and then they are prepared when they have the time of activities with the students.
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay. So this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The events should be organized directly with the school and not through the mediation of a Department of Education, as we once did to prevent delayed transmission of information or misinformation. During the phase of organization at distance, the communication should be held preferentially with the school director so that she can transmit the proper information to the people concerned.
This is from the because this is from the first edition. That then during Bravo, we organize, at least in Bolivia, almost everything through the education department, no?
Yeah.
So this Seduca.
Seduca.
So that was something that in 2009 didn't work at all, I guess, but in Bolivia worked, I guess. No, in Pando worked quite well. It worked
It worked.
with their problems, but it worked.
Actually, they provided the mobility.
Mobility.
Right? So, yeah. No, I think it worked.
Yeah.
So our main
Yeah.
contact was that. Here in Brazil, we didn't do that, right? Through the Secretary of Education. More or less. Because it was so difficult.
It was a fact. No?
And more or less. So in Acre, it's because we were only working with IFAC.
Mm.
So of course the organization was through them. In Rondônia, no. Including, I think they provided the auditorium for the teacher training in Cacoal.
Mm.
And I think also even the mattresses we are sleeping at the indigenous schools, they provided. So they knew that we would go. So it's not they organized, but they knew we were there, and they encouraged the teachers to attend the teacher training workshops and gave us the permission to work at the indigenous.
Okay.
And I think it worked. In Rondônia, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in Acre, it's curious because in Acre we didn't use this facility, and it was where we had problems. For instance, when we arrived in Cruzeiro, there was a week of break, wasn't it? A week of break because it was novena, and they were not aware of that. Of course, if this was done through the department, the education department, they would have known that.
So I guess this lesson learned at the end, it's proven to be different, or maybe it's because of the.
I think it's going to depend from place to place if you have to speak with the principal or to the education department.
Okay, so I put here, it depends on the place.
For Brava, I remember it was it was a school we had that day. I remember because not the Terminal only. Okay, that was another. But it was I think after Puerto Rico, there was another town, and we arrived there, and the people were like, "Oh, who are you?" And like the teachers and even the director was asking questions like, "Oh, so what are you doing? Are you going to donate stuff or?" He didn't. They weren't sure about what we were doing there. So yeah, and that day we felt a bit disconnected. I remember. I don't know the name of the school, but I remember everyone was feeling like, what are we doing here? And that's because it seems that there was not a good communication between the organizers there and the school. So.
No, I think the school always has to know, right? If we are promoting art teacher training workshops, then I think it's good to contact the education department.
Yeah, so because in Bolivia, let's say when we go through the education department of the state, it was at the end because also there was a big teacher workshop in Seduca, and then a lot of teachers came to Seduca. Okay, so I guess it's whatever works, but both ways could work.
Strategies to ensure that the school knows that GalileoMobile will visit them should be created. It can be either by a term of agreement to receive a GalileoMobile member, I guess, or direct phone call. So GalileoMobile call or
I think this came from the workshop that was here after Bravo. That happened because I remember having this conversation because there was this thing that people didn't know were here, right? And also the other projects were saying that they had some sort of agreements of minimum conditions because we were there providing, let's say, not a service, but I mean, we're working for having a minimum of quality, and then we should expect that at least that the students are there, right? And that's why we thought about the agreement, but maybe sometimes this does not work, and then just I think it was you who said that maybe just talking with the principal would suffice. So, but what do you think? Do we need to have like a form with GalileoMobile and then like a bullet points of minimum things? Not like this, but saying, okay, we will go there and then we.
Now I remember. Yeah.
Do you think we need like a document and then sign from GalileoMobile and the principal, or we just need to be?
Perhaps in a bureaucratic country as Brazil, maybe this would be better.
Because so far I think we don't have any form like this
Sounds
prepared.
more official.
Yeah, I'm thinking. No, it's just because we don't want to skip schools that do not reply to this kind of forms or emails because whatever reason. On the other hand, it's like it's true. It's like the same what has happened with you in Bolivia. So, in principle, the education department should have talked to them, and you believe that. Why not believe? And then it's maybe more like a confirmation, like okay, we got in contact with you. You know that we are coming, just like an okay, right? We know that you are coming. We do, here at the museum we have to do this a lot because, as Edu says, we are a very bureaucratic country. But even, for instance, when we agree that a school will come to visit the museum, so they need to say, okay, we'll come. Or when we borrow the telescopes, when we lend the telescopes to teachers, I mean, it's really a piece of paper that it doesn't mind. It's just that to protect the teacher that is coming here to learn telescope, so that when he goes or she goes to the school, he can perform activities, because otherwise the principal can say, I don't know about this, you're not going to do activities. So I think in Brazil this would be a good thing, but I don't know in other countries. Because sometimes they simply don't understand what we want. For instance, in Uganda, we had so much trouble, like in communication, and I think that this was very cultural. I don't know. We were asking questions, and people were saying yes, yes. So everything ended at the end.
I guess in Bolivia wouldn't let it highlight a paper agreement. They would just say okay and then
Yes, one comment. It's because in principle, we send invitation letters to all the schools, right? So through the contacts or through emails, we always have these letters that we have always sent. So is it?
But it's different, I guess, because I don't know if these invitation letters are replied to us.
No, they were never replied.
Because with this agreement, they have to
reply
with the something. Well, that depends on how we prepare this agreement. Well, I don't know if that's the solution, but we could prepare a form to have it just in case we need it.
Maybe more important than the content of this agreement itself is like to have, let's say, a signature which ensures that someone from that place read and knows what's going to happen. It's just like ensure, okay, someone read, the director, the principal, I don't know. They know about us, so yeah, okay, it's fine.
Okay, so this invitation letter could be that this invitation letter goes, and then they need to send it back with something.
That was my second question. How is that going to happen? Because, for example, no school in Bolivia had internet access or a scanner to scan any document signed. In many other countries as well. In India, they don't even have walls, so even less a computer.
So then maybe this is better to go through the education department, something higher than the school, not direct to the school.
But to get something from them.
To get something, and then they talk to the schools and ensure us that we can go.
But then, yeah, I think that would be the strategy. But then we are trusting these agencies and these secretaries, and it can also not work.
Not work, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Like in Bolivia as well.
Or maybe a direct phone call. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
think this is the work of the local contacts, right? Like even if they cannot travel to schools because it's far away, to call, because they can make local calls, to really talk to the principal. I think this is really something should be stressed, like for local contacts to do.
Yeah, I think the document is more like a second thing we can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Okay. Yeah, this need to work. Due to the structure of the schools program, in all the places we visited, we had a very short time allocated for our activities, about 3 hours, which seems to be not nearly enough to interact with the students and have more relaxed discussions.
That's from Colombia.
So,
that seems very
so they had very short time, so about 3 hours so that was not enough. 3 hours was not enough for one activity.
For all the activities in the school,
But they spend only 1 day per school?
I guess so.
I think it was one morning.
They opened one morning, and then they had another week of talks.
I think it was
And then they came back to the...
It was a morning every.
Then this was because they had not to learn the lesson.
It was super relaxed. Colombia was super relaxed.
Yeah, they were doing yoga because
One month.
Yeah, they were having massages.
Coffee discussions.
And the activities were in the afternoon.
No, maybe a lesson learned is like if you go to expedition, you go to expedition, you go on a spa vacation, right?
No, and then so I think this was
Only happened in Colombia.
I think it was
because they didn't apply the lessons learned like just 2 days in school.
Like that.
So we'll continue. Directly contact the principal of schools or head teacher as well in advance to ensure that they know that GalileoMobile will visit the school as well as to know the level, ages, and quantity of students. Compare the agenda of the visit and among the teachers and students. Misunderstanding related to our visits in schools have been a common constant in GalileoMobile expeditions. We recommend that the local collaborators choose and invite the schools to participate in our project, but a team member of GalileoMobile should be the one explaining to the school leaders what will be done at how.
That's from Bravo.
Ficou a mesma coisa, né?
It's
Yeah,
like
this is the same
the same as we talked before.
Yes, the same because it's a constant.
A constant.
Yeah, but it's
But maybe here it's more well. It's more detail.
in more detail. Yeah. But I guess
But it's the same.
I don't know if we can. I mean, we cannot test if the Bravo lesson learned were used because we don't have the reports from Constellation.
No.
let's say, or the-
No, but I was. Since I was in Uganda and Bravo was the expedition that came after, I think we did some measures. For instance, in Uganda we sent letters to the directors explaining our program. And in Bravo as well, we had that letter in Portuguese and in Spanish. So maybe including this should be a document that should be uploaded on the wiki because there is no need to create new documents. But now I can't remember specifically what was the case. I think I wrote that. I think I was referring to Acre because they were the mediators in Cruzeiro.
Yeah.
But then we arrived in Cruzeiro and then people in Cruzeiro didn't know that we would be there. I think that was the case.
Yeah, and also the Yamina, what happened in Yamina, the Yaminawa community.
Exactly, I think that was the case.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is more or less that, okay, the collaborators choose where we go, but I think it's no harm to call and explain, even though we sent this letter, like to say, look, this letter means this. Because in Uganda, this also happened. We sent the letters, they received, they said yes, but when we arrived at the schools, it was this that you saw on the numbers. It was like 1,000 students. Despite of the fact that in the letters it was saying we work with small groups. So I think that's the thing.
Journeys at schools. After talking to the principal or head teacher, choose the TTW, what? Teacher training workshops, activity sessions according to when the students are at school. It is very difficult for schools to change their daily routines.
That's from Bravo.
I think you feel about that.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
In this conversation with principal and head teachers, request the space needed to develop activities, big room, yard, for the night sky observation, dark room, etc., and speakers, sound system for the opening talk.
That's from Bravo too.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. I
It
mean,
makes sense.
if there is the material.
But this we are marking as learned or these are.
I mean, it's from Bravo, then we don't know, I guess,
We
because
don't-
I mean,
yeah.
I learned it,
Ah,
but I don't
in
know if we have used it in Constellation.
What has learned?
No, I mean, you know that it's good. Yeah, I just understand what I want to say. I'm a better person now.
Okay, so we are not.
But if
We
it's
don't
one
know,
from the
yeah.
Andes, from the first one, or from India, we can say if we use it or if it was good or not.
But constellation doesn't count.
There is no report.
But in Lumiar, we picked the lessons learned from Bravo and I think we used.
I think we did those things, like
Some
to
point.
first
okay,
talk to the
yeah,
principal,
yeah,
explain,
Yes.
adapt to the school time, and then also look for a big room, look for a place for night observation. We did all
I
those
think
things.
we checked.
At least in Lumia.
Okay.
Yeah, we checked.
Well, I put that.
And after Ecuador, we did the same. Yeah, in Ecuador we always talk to the principal as well.
So teacher workshops. Before starting explaining the teachers that they are encouraged to carry out the activities with the students by themselves during the activity session. Before starting, explain the teachers. Okay. This increased their level of attention and prepared them to volunteer for the activities when the workshop was over.
We did that in Bravo.
Yeah. In Uganda as well.
Right.
After the demonstration of each activity, asked the teachers for feedback on how the activity will fit with the students we were going to work with in the afternoon. They have a better perspective of the level of difficulty and can help us to adapt the activities accordingly. We didn't ask this often enough and only during our last visits, but we felt this was extremely helpful.
Yeah, actually, this is something we didn't do afterwards, right? Like to have this feedback from teachers. In Bravo, we didn't do it.
Bravo, we
And
didn't.
me, I
Yeah.
remember it was very good. Like at the end of every day, we sit with the
Yeah.
teachers again after the
But
activities
I'm
with kids, and we asked them for feedback, and they gave a lot of feedback.
At each school.
In India.
I remember there was a form, right? At least we were filling out something with her.
So we were having debriefings, internal debriefings.
Yeah.
But then with the teachers, we did this as well.
Okay,
We
yeah.
didn't do it in our school. We did it in like 3 or 4 schools, and it was good. It's pretty good.
But was it the same day after the
Yeah. After the whole day of activities, teacher workshops and activities, we called the teachers again into a room, sat in a circle, and asked them what they liked about the day or what they thought it was a bit too difficult for the students, and they gave a lot of comments. It's not still in the report.
Pero no fue feedback.
I said something in Bravo we didn't think about.
No, I don't know. I think not in Uganda, not in Bravo. I think in Uganda, ideally, we would have a discussion with them. No, yeah, it was not learned.
And this is actually good because if you start doing this from the first schools as you visit, the input of the teachers will improve the activities on the same trip. So it's a lesson learned that can be applied on the field as well.
But then that depends on the schedule of the school, right? Because if the teacher has to teach later
Yeah, I
after
think that was
the
the
activities, or
problem.
if it's like late for the school to keep open and they have to leave.
Yeah. Probably that's why we didn't apply it
Yeah.
afterwards in
Yeah.
Bravo, because especially here in Brazil that they have so many classes and
Yeah,
they don't have,
yeah.
because in India it was very easy. All the teachers, so every teacher had one class and they all had the same time and they finished at the same time as well. Because it was primary education mostly, it wasn't secondary. So the time schedule was the same for all of us, for all of them.
Yeah, then it was better.
Here it would be complicated.
Here, I remember well in Bravo.
Yeah, and for example, this Cora Coralina
Yeah, I was remember.
is huge, and they are going from one course to the other. You know, this is crazy.
Then was time to the school for the students to leave, to go home, and then everybody just rush.
Yeah, no, this is not obvious.
But of course, that depends on when we're there to ask them a time for that.
But for example, I think in Bolivia we could have done it because there were also small schools with not so many teachers, not so many students. I think we could have done it there. In many more rural areas works better. Small schools. We should maybe try next expedition.
Okay, next one.
After demonstration of each activity, asked the teachers for feedback on how the activity. Was that in the city? Okay. If the school has computers, show them at this time the material in the city included in the handbook of activities, in particular the program Stellarium. Note that planning extensive workshops sessions might require 2-day stays at schools. Yeah.
We did this in Bravo, yes.
We did that in Bravo, right? At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was learned. It was, yeah. After the telescope demonstration, asked the teachers if they would like would like us to leave the telescope mounted or in its box for them to assemble in their own time. In most schools, the teachers were willing to mount it by themselves. However, a few schools asked for it mounted because they didn't feel confident. In these cases, we felt that leaving it mounted will facilitate its use after we leave.
Maybe it would be better to ask the teachers to mount themselves while we are like observing, because if you leave that mounted, they would never unmount to bring somewhere else. But if you leave that unmounted, they will never mount to work. So maybe you should train with them a couple of times.
One thing we do here, because we have a project that we lend telescopes to teachers, is that we assemble, then we disassemble, and then they have to do, and they still have a manual for checking that at home in case they feel insecure, and a video.
I think at least one of the times they did that.
Yeah, I think they did, but sometimes there are more than one teacher, and then just one of them they are assembling on one.
Yeah.
The rest is just looking. But maybe this thing with the video would be great.
I think the video as
It's
part
great.
also of the
The
recorded
video
activity.
Video.
We already have it.
in the worries.
And guys, we have never had problem.
I record
A video with Felipe for like an hour. I was doing all the movements too. Yeah, and we were filming, and it's like
It's
cut.
very close up, so I don't know if it's...
Yes.
I think we can...
And this is nice. Yeah, we could try to. Yeah, he has the video.
Because it's very close up, so I don't know if it's like...
Maybe we can show it quickly, the one we have, just so that they see. Because we have never had a problem with a teacher saying, oh, I took the telescope to my school and I couldn't perform the activity because I didn't know how to assemble the telescope. It has never happened. And it's really great. It's one of our most successful projects nowadays. It's the one Sandra is working. And the one that we just, our student is going on with, oh, I'm going to cry.
Essa professora que eu estava atendendo era que vinha pegar o telescópio.
O PST virá em uma caixa como essa. Para abrir a caixa, gire a borboleta no sentido anti-horário até destravar a tampa. Após destravar a primeira trava, faça o mesmo com a segunda trava e abra a caixa. A primeira peça a ser retirada da caixa é o tripé. Retire-o da caixa, remova o isopor de seus pés. Com o tripé no chão, desatarraxe os parafusos das pernas
Tá muito
e
lindo.
ajuste para uma altura adequada.
Isso aí.
Aí assim, o vídeo todo.
Eu poderia usar esse vídeo aí?
É que é outro telescópio.
Probabilmente realiza a tutorial vídeo maravilloso.
Embaixo da parte
But the problem is the
e
language.
tirar a rosca de frente
Also,
ao parafuso
the problem.
até que a base fique justa. Repita a mesma operação com os outros dois parafusos.
Mas eu acho que não vai mesmo.
Não, dá pra fazer. É a única... The only problem is because we did thinking about using for the documentary, so it's more like close-ups and
It's not like that.
like this.
But maybe
This is more
something,
detailed.
now that you are here, Felipe, something that we can do.
Yeah, we
Do we have a...
and we can use the image
A
as
gente tem
mine.
galiloscópio na minha casa. Sem tripé.
Okay.
Eu acho que isso poderia entrar dentro daqueles vídeos de materiais e atividades que a gente...
And then we can ask everybody to do like a voiceover like this with different language.
Yeah, exactly.
Partly can do the Dutch one. introduction. Alright.
At the end of the workshop, At the end of the workshop, assign 1 to 2 teachers per activity and define whether together with them how to proceed later during the session with the students. This helps them to prepare and be ready for the activities.
This is very ideal case, I guess. To have 2 teachers per activity. I mean, in Brown never happened. I mean, they would have.
Yeah,
I mean,
travel.
Usually the teacher left.
They
That's the
were
one
leaving.
that
They were like, oh, we are off. I was like,
It's because actually India, I think, was like Uganda. They were very disciplined and
Yeah.
very organized.
They
And
were.
a teacher wouldn't move if you didn't tell him that he was liberated to move. So after each workshop, we had this table in the board where we assigned each teacher to a particular activity, and this worked fine because then they chose which activity. We presented several, and then they chose, and then they felt more engaged. And in the afternoon, they already were there waiting for the activity they were assigned to. So this worked very well, but it was different cultures. Yeah. I think in Bolivia, they also fly away in the first opportunity they have.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it was different.
I don't know if this could be implemented everywhere.
Mm. So it depends. During the workshops, show clearly all the items of the donation material. In case CDs, DVDs are distributed, show their content. Show the trailer of the GalileoMobile documentaries.
I think the donation material we do, right?
With the CD, yeah.
But with the CD at every school, because there was one day, yeah, with Felipe that we did this special.
No, we can show the content.
We never showed the content except that, yeah.
What is the teacher
But what they
workshops?
mean, I think it show the content, it show like
Ah, what is it about? Yeah.
the DVD.
Yeah, I remember that. This is the DVD.
Yeah, I remember.
In Uganda we did. And I think in Constellation Brazil as well, right? The trailers no, but the material yes.
Yeah, but
The DVD material? The one that was inside the DVD? Yes, I guess.
In the teacher workshops, I remember that we saw that there was the Stellarium, there was the
I don't remember.
there was the cartilla.
No, I don't remember.
I remember in Lumia we told them, like we gave them the DVD and told them
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
this,
this
there is
is
that,
it.
but we didn't
But
open
not
with
much.
them.
Not much. I think in our case it was no.
not much, yeah.
We did show something in Sena, no? Sena Madureira, do you remember? Remember, there were a ceremony to deliver the donation, then we explain
Oh, the material donation, yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking specifically about the what was inside the DVD.
In Bolivia we did sometimes.
Because here is, in case DVDs are distributed, show their content. I don't think we did
I
that.
don't know. I might remember in Rondônia, I don't know if you remember this, in Saqual, the teacher training workshop, that they wanted so much the CD. Do you remember that? Because it was the large teacher training workshop. We did not have a telescope to each one of them.
Okay.
But we had the CD,
Yeah.
and they were like, we had to copy like 90 DVDs, and they wanted so much. Maybe I'm confused
That was in
because
this
I
big,
think
big auditorium.
Yes. I think there we showed the content. That's why they wanted so badly.
Or we did like previously we showed the Stellarium and the handbook and everything else, and then we said, "Now this DVD you have this."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
We didn't
perhaps.
open at that moment, but we said that everything
Yeah,
we showed
yeah.
before was in the DVD, in the CD.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we have to be a bit more.
Our experience shows that in South America, GalileoMobile activities have had deeper impact in primary schools. Try to focus on these schools next time. Nevertheless, teacher workshops should be open to both primary and secondary teachers. I think
Yes, this was
we
a
had,
conversation
yeah. Mm.
that we had no, in Bolivia.
Project
We worked with the small. You remember you saying the small kids, but in Uganda you said the opposite, no? It
No,
was-
but we did not have the chance to work with the little ones in Uganda. They picked the students.
they picked the student.
Yeah, because in Bolivia we had the chance to work with, but not. It was mostly secondary students. And then we felt,
Yeah, this is something also we discussed at some point. It was better that GalileoMobile worked with primary schools because the response was better.
Yeah.
But the way the handbook now
handbook
is
is
more
better,
adapted
yeah.
for the secondary
Yeah.
schools. So it's something like we wanted also to discuss
Yeah,
which audience
yeah.
would be better, and I
Yeah.
think we never agreed
I
on
guess
anything.
that's also not problem. I guess since the field was the one, I guess having this insight, this origin, this idea of inquiry-based learning and everything, and he like not he alone, but he was, let's say, the main pusher to shift this to, let's say, the high school student, right? And then the activities now are more well, but not all of them, because there are some activities that at the beginning are for younger students, and then they have second parts that it's for the students in the like the activity you made with the balloons.
Yeah.
It was for the grown-ups, no?
Yes.
And then in some schools we separated the students. For instance, you took the older did the activity, Maite took the younger and did the
With the
activity
solar
with the
system.
social. And I took the mid one, so
Yeah, I think we shouldn't give up on the little ones, even though our handbook of activities is difficult. I think we should keep them. It's beautiful to work with them.
Yeah. So have a CD copy to each participant teacher. They really like it. So to hand, you mean?
yeah, that's because of that teacher work, as you said.
Yeah, this is for a CD copy. Is like from the documentary or
No, from the resources. I think, right?
Yeah, the DVD with Stellarium.
with the Stellarium. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Handbook, PDF version.
Okay. So that was learned. Keep the partnership with GTTP and the certificates distribution. Teachers really appreciate that. Okay, that's learned. Continue. Keep the promotion of large workshops to engage more teachers of the visited regions, but organize the event in partnership with education secretariats. The two workshops we hosted in cooperation with the CEDU, Cobija and CACOA, and had a high attendance, whereas the two which the secretaries were not involved, like Cruzeiro do Sul and Rio Branco, few teachers job. So that's kind of not related to the
That's important.
yeah, but that's related to the previous one. No,
Yeah, I think we discussed this despite of the fact that it was not written.
yeah. During the teacher workshop, it is a good habit to start with the presentation of GalileoMobile, its evolutions and ideas. Afterwards, if there are many teachers, we should make smaller groups so that we can work more closely with each one of them.
That's from Colombia. Yeah, I guess that's something that was done in Uganda, India, Bangladesh.
Yeah. Activities with students. Special sessions should be dedicated to the teachers. Except in the two occasions where we organized workshops for the teachers, we did not have enough time to work with the teachers separately. Having the teachers watching the activities is not enough, as their attention is focused on controlling the students. Yet, to create the best conditions for the follow-up activities in the schools, it is important to dedicate a private session to the teacher, especially concerning manipulation of the telescope. Okay, we talked about
This we
that
learned.
one. Yeah, we
Is
learned.
it from the first one?
Yeah.
So that's what the teacher
Time should be given for building social interaction with students, teachers, and local people. Establishing trust and social bonds with the people is essential ingredient to achieve a more interactive teaching and thus to pass on concepts more efficiently. This requires to overcome cultural barriers, to understand the living style, traditions, and social conditions of the locals. From our experience, we felt that demonstrating interest in understanding and sharing the local traditions and cosmovision was an essential ingredient for the quality of our visits. It created a more likely interpersonal atmosphere, opening up the children to learn new concepts from us. However, we believe that our one-day stays in schools were not sufficient in this respect. Yeah, was there?
Okay, that was when we decided to do
Yeah.
2 days in the school.
So, oh my God, look at the says at school she lost at least 2 days. Okay, that was
Okay.
yeah, good.
Okay, next.
The directors have anonymously claimed that we successfully raised the high interest of the students during the activities, especially for the youngsters with ages below approximately 13 years. They enjoyed the practical aspect of our activities.
But that's a lesson there.
It made the school, yeah, I don't know what is this. They felt like their village, okay, it's a feeling.
Yes, I guess this was not a lesson learned. It was
It's not a
more
lesson learned, it's
like
like a feedback, yeah.
I take it out.
Yeah. We felt that an optimal duration time for the activities was 30 to 45 minutes. This was usually enough for a brief introduction and the practical activity itself. A longer duration, okay, so longer time for, yeah, that was it. We realized that due to the tight schedule followed every day, it was better to reduce the number of rotations to one instead of 4 or 5, depending on the number of activities. Everyone was more relaxed towards the activities without so much time pressure and avoided boredom that comes from too much repetition.
No
So
rotation means.
no, because in India we had so many students and we were rotating like
Five
crazy.
times.
Yeah,
So
like
you
5
did that
times.
each activity 5 times.
5 times. No, in Bravo just changed
And Bravo changed
to 2. I think 2.
Yeah,
Okay, learn.
Yeah, I think so. Assign one person, either a school staff member or one of our local collaborators, to keep track of the duration of activities and coordinate changes when rotating activity groups. Yeah,
We did this.
yeah.
Uganda, we have.
Yeah, I think it was-
I think I was telling Mike that all these things that we now are going to read now about India,
Mm.
because you are also, because Phil
Yeah,
also
because we
Uganda
traveled.
and the Bravo and the you
That was
that
good,
were,
yeah.
it was done in
There
Yeah.
was only
And we
someone that
knew-
was common, no?
Yeah.
In the
The opening talk needs to be reformulated. It has to be. Wait. Before the session starts, identify the places, stands. Yeah. The opening talk needs to be reformulated. It has to have two versions: one for primary schools and another one for secondary schools. Use more beautiful images and more up to date. I agree.
that was
Yeah.
in
I think
Bravo.
this was written because of my headset. In a
Yeah. It's true. After in the night in
When we
Rio
do the
Branco.
briefings,
Yeah.
because some things I took from our.
Yeah, because we felt with the high schools, high schoolers, it was a bit lame,
No, this
the
was
presentation.
not
And then you,
No, in Bravo, Brazil,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
opening talk was different than the one with the
when you
window.
did before in Bolivia was a bit, I was feeling that the students, high schoolers were not really connecting a lot with the opening talk. And then in Bravo,
Brazil.
Rio Branco, I saw yours, and I thought this could be, improved by.
Because in
Yeah.
Brazil, in Bravo, we never used the one with the
No.
window.
I think maybe you're confused because when you were in Rio Branco, the workshop we had, it was supposed to be to the undergrad students. So that's why that talk was a bit more, it was a bit different.
Yeah.
But I think when we went to the schools, I think we used them.
You use the.
But in Lumiere we had an updated versions with more beautiful images. So we have the same structure with the windows,
But then we always put a beautiful image, much beautiful than the older ones, and in big. So it was appeared first in the window, and then the second slide was the big image. And that, I don't know if you remember, but that worked quite fine. In Ecuador, we also used that version.
Ah, okay, so in
there's an
Ecuador
update-
you
there's an
already,
updated
you already
version.
tried something.
But
Okay.
with the weird, still with the weird window.
Yes.
So there was a window,
But the window
Yeah.
that the very old paint
Like
one.
but then we changed a few images and put nicer images, and then put it in big. So they appeared first in the window, but then they appeared
Yeah.
big.
No, that's true that we updated because that we have learned, we have
I
read the
have
lessons learned,
Yeah.
but it's still, Sandra, we work with primary schools, at least in Brazil, so that's why they still like the window. But
Yeah.
we might create a very, very beautiful one, maybe with Prezi. I don't know, if we want to give like this sense of opening,
Yeah.
like looking or through the telescope and then
Yeah.
having a very nice and beautiful image, we could try to use
Yeah, well,
Prezi.
I guess it could work if we change this visual that doesn't, the visual of the window on the desk. It's
Yeah,
not
because
that
there
nice.
was a conception behind that, but we can change it, it's not a problem. I totally agree with Maite.
I mean, for me, it's not appealing visually. The concept
Yes.
of this is great, but visually it was not very well done.
No,
The
I mean-
window and the desk in this, as we did in 2009, that it's.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that we have not learned in the sense that we have not built this new presentation.
Not like.
It's to be.
But there is
There is
an
a-
update.
There is an update,
The old
okay.
ugly.
Well, is the update can be improved and then.
No, I don't know when, but maybe I can try to work in a Prezi version for the next expedition that we don't know when it's going to take place.
Yeah. But already, yeah. Francesca, but it's next week.
Yeah.
Because-
Francesca is not.
Yeah, she's not even doing
I
anything.
don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know what she's going to. Okay. So the activities to engage with students, that is to reproduce the shape of, for example, reproduce the shape of a spiral galaxy or play with the Earth ball. Went very well. It brought some magic. We recommend to include this kind of activity in the official GalileoMobile school program, either on the first day before the night sky observations or on the second day. So this is because we were playing with the Earth ball. Yeah, it was kind of like an activity to say goodbye. Yeah, it came out from, I think, from Felipe.
Yeah, it was to.
This was not learned. I think we did not include.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember we play a lot there.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it was because talking about the documentary and you were having like, yeah, maybe we should have some
Yeah,
more
it was,
activities for engaging with the
Yeah.
students, and then we said, yeah, maybe it's good for.
Yeah, or we were saying
or saying
something and throwing the ball
I
away.
remember the first time we did it.
Yeah, it was kind of like an
When we
activity.
play volleyball and we throw the ball, no?
Because then we did
Yeah.
actually a volleyball.
Yeah.
Volleyball match in another school, and then the spiral galaxy.
Yeah, I think that was nice.
I mean, that's cool. I mean,
I think it should be done because actually we gathered together there as well to say goodbye at the end of the day.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you.
and this is something we continue doing in Lumiere. We did, for example, in Ecuador as well.
So it was
Like
learned.
the circle, throwing the earth ball to
Okay, that's
say
nice.
what we have learned.
Cool. So it was learned. The activities to engage. Oh no, this is
Yeah.
that one was.
My fault.
Yeah, you have to put it down. The activities proposed by the filming crew were, as you said, our impression is that this kind of art science activities should be kept in the program, especially in the high school visits. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
the other thing is that maybe there were no people
Yeah.
that knew about how to do these activities.
It could
But
be.
it worked really well that they did it. No?
All the activities, the cine clubs,
The cine club.
I think the cineminha, the teatro de sombras, all of them. They were really nice.
In Carolina School, we worked with groups, 45 students, and 2 groups were playing the activities at the yard. It was very tiresome because we had to speak very loud, which made the team get tired quickly. During the school, we had 3 shifts. morning, afternoon, evening, and there was a lot of pressure for us to perform activities with students. Even though this was not prior agreed. Once more, this reinforces that I'll talk in advance with the principal, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So in Cora Carolina, that was in Brazil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna go back to the school.
Yeah.
So it was, there were a lot of students, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but we...
I guess this is learn.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
You're going back and not make the same mistake.
More or less.
Okay.
No,
So
just
after-
because I think
Which
the
one?
afternoon students they're very very few, and then we'll do activities only with morning and night students. That day was really
Although Portuguese and Spanish are very similar, sometimes Brazilian kids will have trouble understanding Spanish speakers. Thank you.
I know. That was my fault.
We were trying.
It was especially for me.
But why they couldn't understand?
No, when they were really, really little.
Okay, yeah, because it
they
was
couldn't
not.
understand.
Yeah, okay. Next time we try harder. It is also important to know that we would like all of the interested students to participate, not only those of a particular grade or class. Also, those who are not interested should in principle be allowed to do something else, at least as far as GN is concerned. Yeah, this was Colombia.
It seemed like
Okay.
Eva's comment.
Yeah, that
Okay, so some students say, no, I don't want to participate, I go.
I think this is none of our business.
I think
We cannot control the students if they are not with us. So.
This is actually Pilar because it happened in Ecuador as
it
well.
happened in India as well.
That she found a few people that were not interested, and then she was kind of from them from the class. Like, I do not want to participate and go away and do something else. And teachers were desperate because the students cannot abandon the class during class time. So this was a bit of a problem.
And I remember again that it happened one day that she had an outbreak. I don't know if you remember, but
Yeah.
but maybe because she started playing and then they could not concentrate back, and it was the same. But okay.
So I took it out. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not something that we're.
As it never happened to me. I don't know. In Grab, it happened to me that one time that I had a few students that were not interested. They were the older ones.
Yeah,
and they were
but
with
they're
the
trying to
mobile
be
phone.
cool or yeah.
And then I think I told them that if they were not interested, fine, but please to keep it
Yeah.
silent.
Yeah, I never had.
They were
Okay.
happy there.
We pick it up? Yes?
I don't know if we should take it out because it's written on the report, but maybe we can add a comment, right?
Okay.
That we cannot do this. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is
Okay.
On October 16th, we met a couple of very interesting people in Colegio Estrella del Sur. These were two students with an incredible depth of thought and an insatiable thirst for knowledge, with whom we stayed talking long after the GalileoMobile activities. In a private confession, they tell us of their incapacity to find all the books they would like to read in their local library. A thought for a future project that is GalileoMobile, Constellation, would be to provide schools with a rich selection of textbooks for the support of their activities. This is in combination with the teacher training. This in combination with the teacher training will empower the schools to pursue a long-term astronomy program. So,
I mean, that happened in Constellation. But, yeah, that happened in Constellation. I don't know.
so that we should have a selection of books, or
No, well, no, I don't say that we should do always, but it was done in Constellation, right? So and that's what I put.
yeah, provide schools, yeah. But in a like, if there's a Bravo, I mean, or something, I mean, could it be always? I mean, because do we
Yeah, it could be that in the donation material will be also books sometimes. I don't know.
Sometimes could be, but it depends on, yeah. I guess it depends
But
on.
it's a good idea. I mean,
Yeah, no. I think it's good. Okay. The idea of briefly speak to students in our own languages is nice and catches their attention. It is also funny, so it's something we should try to do as much as possible.
Okay, no, it's cute.
Yeah, I think it is cute. Depends if you. It has been a fruitful experience to put together traditional activities of GM, like 3D constellations, sunspots, and more artistic ideas. Theater, painting, music, Colombia. That was in Colombia.
that was Colombia.
Yeah, this is.
This is in Colombia that happened. And also, well, and also.
Yeah, but this is. That's been,
And also with Bravo.
Yeah.
Semilla,
yeah.
mixing, let's say.
Yeah, I
arts.
think we have introduced. Yeah. But maybe.
No, I mean,
Should we?
for me, I don't know who was talking about this the other day.
Yeah,
But
but
usually-
Patti was saying that we should put more diverse, right, activities. So maybe it's still not learned because we don't.
Result is good.
Yeah. So being curious towards people's language and music is a nice way to reduce distances and break the ice. We need to do this more often and regularly. So that was in Colombia.
That's what's Colombia because I guess Pilar and
Fun.
Fabio were with the guitar or Phil. Well, I also Phil with the. But I guess Phil with the flute was at the end, no? So
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, good. Being,
That was the hippie GalileoMobile.
being curious towards people's language and music is a nice way to reduce distances and break the. Oh no. Okay. In all our schools, we have. Yeah, you put in the wrong place. In all schools we have visited, the population is exposed to high social risk, like drug dealers, violence. We need to be always aware that our activities show better and more interesting lifestyle, as well as help to develop identity, dreams, hopes.
Yeah, both was from Colombia. Yeah, that's no, because it's saying that what we are bringing is the. I mean, maybe it's better than drugs, but
Salvation Galileo.
not that bad. Yeah. Apparently it's well, better than drugs.
For
to
me,
death, I mean.
I don't know. That's funny. I mean, I think we're inspired for them already. Not, I mean, to continue, right?
This is similar to Mars Academy, right? I mean,
This is from Colombia.
yeah, like Mars Academy, I think had the same problem.
And they have the same.
Because they were working at City of God.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we aim at. It doesn't mean that it's.
Yeah.
That's what we would like.
But,
we hope,
but we
but,
should, but I mean, you mean that we should do it straightforward, like stay out of drugs?
no.
I don't know.
I think it's more like a hope, than a lesson learned.
Yeah.
Yes, it's our hope, but
Take it out.
Yeah. So during the meeting point before activities start, while the teachers split the students in groups, the team members must have a closed meeting to decide who takes which group and which room before splitting. This was often a problem, but as we were gaining experience, we managed to organize ourselves better.
so much.
Yeah. Changing plans or schedule has been proven a very difficult thing to do, especially in rural communities. If plans are changed, ensure that information has passed directly by phone. That was, so that was,
I think this
Yeah.
field has written, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, that was from Bolivia, Yaminawa.
We learned the hard way.
Before going in,
Yeah.
before going 7 hours in a car, 8 people, and then 3 hours in a canoe.
Be sure
Be
people is going to
Make sure that the president is not around holding a meeting. Yeah. Okay, so we have preferable to responsible of materials, checking if everything needed for activities is in the back of glass donation material. And that was Phil. Phil was always
Yeah, that's
forgetting
lame, but
things.
too much, I guess.
Yeah, but Phil, he he should travel with a list of
20 people team. I remember this so much because when we arrived in Rio Branco and we had the first briefing, I remember Sandra already saying like, we need to.
Oh, because we were picking up everything.
I was the one material person. I was
The bag
traumatized.
doesn't walk alone.
Phil was in the field, going around.
Activities, the briefing, dinner, the briefing.
It was coming at 11 or midnight every day when we all went to bed, and I had to go to the material and go through it and prepare the material for the next day. Yeah.
I like that you opened the mic to say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to be released.
Yeah. Request help from teachers. In few schools, teachers did not show up in the student session, which led to misbehavior. Yeah. So yeah, it should be around. Activities with new audiences. The activities with the
Yeah, just one thing.
Yeah.
So we should actually finish in like 10,
10,
15 minutes. I think we.
okay, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna
Actually, I
be.
think I'm gonna ask Bruna to close if she wants to leave, right? And then to record this.
Yeah, we'll finish.
Yeah, well, okay, I said it very quick. In future projects, we should keep working with these groups if possible. Activities with 3 target groups. Visually, visually impaired. Yeah, we learn. Activities with visually impaired students should last longer. Yeah, they should last longer. Keep the events dedicated to undergrad students and involve them in the school visits if possible. They're very motivated. This is what we spoke about. To undergrad, yeah.
We never have worked with undergrad students of the
No,
ground.
it was there because they were from the
Yeah.
That's still too advanced.
So indigenous groups should receive special attention. We need to encourage them to speak and learn more about their own culture and if possible adjust the activities to their views of the customs. Traveling teams should also receive some training on how to deal with this